Good afternoon, everybody. Don't all answer at once.
Good afternoon.
I do not have any comments at the top, so we can go straight to your questions. Josh, would you like to start?
Sure. Thanks, Josh. So some of our intelligence leaders were on the Hill today for quite a while testifying about Russian hacking, among other things. Clapper said, talked a lot about what Russia did, but declined to call it an act of war, saying that wasn't really their place to do that. But it seems it would be the place of the White House to make that kind of determination if it felt that it was appropriate. So, based on the details that were laid out on the Hill, does the White House feel that the Russian hacking and the related to the campaign constituted an act of war?
Josh, what I can tell you is that the Obama administration takes very seriously the effort that was undertaken by the Russians to interfere with and even undermine the basics of American democracy. And the intelligence community takes that quite seriously, and that was evident from the extraordinary statement that they issued back in October, a month before the election, indicating that they had concluded with high confidence, unanimously, that Russia had undertaken this effort, and that this was an effort that was could only have been directed from the highest levels of the Russian government.
Can you say whether the president has been briefed on the version of the intelligence report that he has now received, and whether there's anything that he learned from that new report that adds to his understanding based on what he knew previously?
Mm-hmm. What I can tell you, Josh, is that the White House does have the report, and President Obama is being briefed on it by a range of senior officials who are members of his national security team, some of whom you saw on television earlier today. And
Is that happening today?
it's happening right now. This is obviously the president directed the intelligence community to put together this report last month. He asked them to complete this report before January 20th. So they are beating that deadline by a couple of weeks. And the president has also asked the intelligence community to ensure that they are briefing Congress, which is something that Director Clapper indicated earlier today that he would do. He has asked the intelligence community to brief the president-elect, something that apparently has been scheduled for tomorrow. The president has also directed the intelligence community to make as much of the information that's included in the report public, because it's important for the American people to understand that it's our democracy that has been interfered with, and so the people who are participating in that democracy should have as much information as possible about what exactly happened. Now, what the intelligence community will also have to do, and this is a critical priority, is protect sources and methods. They need to protect their ability to guard against these kinds of intrusions in the future. That's going to limit their ability to make as much public as they probably would otherwise like to do. But they will scrub this report and make as much of it public as they possibly can. And so the people who are participating in that democracy should have as much information as possible about what exactly happened. Now, what the intelligence community will also have to do, and this is a critical priority, is protect sources and methods. They need to protect their ability to guard against these kinds of intrusions in the future. That's going to limit their ability to make as much public as they probably would otherwise like to do. But they will scrub this report and make as much of it public as they possibly can. But it will be a different version than is consumed by officials at the highest level of the United States government. And I know that Director Clapper has indicated he's hopeful that he'll be able to produce a public version of the report early next week, but for more precision on the timing of that release, I'd refer you to his office.